Zeke Black is in the building. Zeke Black is in the building. It's a skinny jeans summer in New York City. We definitely says it's gonna be a hot summer, but the summer has got hotter. They're saying in New York City there's a war between the youth for real. There's a lot of guns on the street. I think this generation has more guns than when I was younger, because now it seems like somebody who's 13 years old, they're alleging are meant to get shot. A lot of these young boys want to be rappers. They want to be this culture that I don't even say it's drill. It's just this culture they have, rapping and killing. It's crazy. No parents should have to bury a 13 or 14-year-old kid. Now, when I was 13, 14 years old, I wasn't looking to die. So I wasn't putting myself in situations to die. And we had crews, we had graffiti crews, we had real crews that was on the block getting money, but we wasn't trying to get shot at. That wasn't our overall goal. Our overall goal was to get fresh and drink a little beer and buy a little marijuana, cheap as they used to say. I think there's a generation of young boys that's following the characteristics of the young boys that me and my boys stood away from. You know, the guys that all they did was run around the streets and create dramas and get drunk and smoke weed all day and always in something. So now the youth now is just in a chaotic state because they think that's real. When you go and you create dramas and you get have all the beef in the world. Not all the youth though. That I told you in these areas. Like I said, the average mother now is my age. Grandmother's my age. I'm 47. The average grandmother's my age. The average mom, remember, you got dudes at 17 years old. Their moms is like 25. Their moms are still, and some of them are still mentally in the street. You know what I'm saying? And just looking and just looking at what we see majority of these neighborhoods where the crime is happening at, there is a lot of gang culture. So even if the gang culture is not going on in the household, it's definitely something that's going on outside. Like we used to see the hustlers outside, now you just see a bunch of gang members outside. If it's Blood, Crips, Trinidadios, whatever, you just see it click. And sometimes to the young boys, that becomes the music because we don't see too much like the kids playing baseball. We don't see the handball no more. We don't see the softball. Yo, let's go to the park and play softball. That's what we seen. That's what we seen when we was kids. Now what we see now is it's they go outside, sit on the stoop. To them, that's entertainment. That's sports. Hanging out with the OGs on the block, running around all day, watching what they do. And most of the time, the older generation, they ain't so much chaotic stuff. These young boys catch on to. They want to be just like them in all the beef in the world. Because some people believe having all the drama in the world is success, and it's really not. You know what I'm saying? Let me get this thing. And it's really not the formula for success. I tell you, it's really not the formula for success. So when we see that these young boys is losing their mind, it's because this is what they see. This is what they think is. They think this is dope. Chaos. Some people believe that chaos is the win, it's the W. You know what I'm saying? And it's really not. Definitely, it's the skinny jean war. Exactly, it's the skinny jean war. We see what's running around. Dudes with tight t-shirts or tight jeans running around the block with big guns. It's crazy. It looks like a scene from G.I. Joe. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, looking at how we grew up though, you know what I'm saying? Because we all know I'm 47, and some people in their 40s. We wasn't really trying to have too much beef. Like, having beef wasn't cool. That didn't make you famous. That didn't, like seriously, young boys, having all the drama in the world didn't, like, we used to think that the dudes that had all the beef in the world, we used to call them like Ricky, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's something wrong with these dudes, man. Like, why someone, like, all the dudes that we knew had all the smoke in the world, they wound up going to jail for bodies. You know what I'm saying? They had all the beef in the world, they wound up catching miscellaneous bodies and it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody, but a lot of dudes that We always seen that, always in the mega mix. I see the mega mix always in something, name always in something. They always in the mega mix. He's always in something. You know what I'm saying? So we have a whole culture that's into, let me be in a mega mix. Let me be into something. And it's crazy, man. You know, my man hit me up yesterday. Definitely shout out to him. Let's talk about it. And I guess he said his nephew got caught up in one of those. You know, he was assassinated. And I definitely sent my condolences to the family. You know what I'm saying? When you asking where's the OGs at on the block, the guys that these young boys follow are just as toxic as them. And all type of smoke, all type of beef. These young boys got the same beef these older dudes got. Just two different generations. Like, it's crazy. Like, yo, we have people with the older dudes on that block, but the young boys is taking on the young boys. And it's insane, man, because it doesn't make you real. Good morning, good morning. It does not make you real because you think that makes your name ring bells. You know what I'm saying? Your name ringing bells at a young age is not always good. You have dudes' names that ring bells in the hood, and a lot of them are rest in peace, or they're sitting in somebody's jail cell for the rest of their life. The ones that before the game, when they was just slapping and losing their mind. And you had some dudes that, you know what I'm saying, top of the morning. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I read this, because it's a skinny jean war out there. We're going to touch on that first, the skinny jean war. It's sad, man. It's sad. They're saying it's a war of the Bronx. And I'm like, now you see what I'm talking about? Those areas, if you look at the economics, that's where there's a lot of shelters. I mean, I'm watching the news yesterday, the Channel 4 News. Shout out to Skinny Stuff, the Smitty Brim. He sent me some news clips from Channel 4 News. You got the mothers is losing their mind. One lady said she didn't know what her son was into. Like, he was just wanted to be a rapper. Another mother, we don't know what's going on. Can kids stop killing themselves? This is a young world, and the young kids is going to war with each other for real. And I'm just trying to tell you, for my generation, I don't know how your block was. I know how my block was. You just wanted to be fly with some money and mess with some chicks. We wasn't trying to have all the smoke in the world. Having all the smoke in the world wasn't cool because you couldn't just shop. You just couldn't go to Missy G's. You just couldn't go to East River. You want to be cool. See, being cool and being in the mix was two different things. You know what I'm saying? When you go through 1199 and your son went up, you go see a boy, you was good. It wasn't, let me go to 1199, come and shake out with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? That was, that wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? Because you couldn't go nowhere. You can't have all this. You had some dudes that had all the smoke in the world. Everywhere they went, they had to fight. You know what I'm saying? But then, after a while, your world gets smaller. You can't go nowhere. Because I remember when the stabbing thing was on and popping. Y'all talking about shooting. Stabbing was an all-time go. Dudes went around with rainbow knives. You know what I'm saying? You might have hit something 4 or 5 times. Ding, 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 ding. This is the era. So a lot of dudes didn't want to get cut. Forget cut with a razor. Nobody wanted to get stabbed. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's just if you're in a shelter, top of the morning. If you're in a shelter, it's time to relocate. It's time to move around in the town. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got some newspaper clippings. It's sad because these are 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds, and they're really at war because it's chaos. It ain't even about the money. It's about me having the name of my block having the name. I'm dying for the block. Listen, I'm from 99 from Lex. The average person my age is not going to die for 99 and Lex. You know what I'm saying? Actually, when we was younger, we wasn't thinking like that. Like, yo, we're going to die for the block. You know what I'm saying? We're hilltop hustlers. We're going to die for this right here. We just didn't want nobody come on our block and disrespect us, but we don't own the landscape. We wasn't that stupid. We don't own this. You know what I'm saying? You know, economically, when it came to the street economics, yo, bro, you know, I'm from the block, but we wasn't on like, yo, I'm going to die for this right here. You got to kill me right here. I die for the block. I don't care who y'all violate, you have to smoke me. You had some dudes that was willing to die like that, but that was, like I told you, that was the Ricky syndrome. We called it the Ricky, you know what I'm saying? Cause yo, bro, I'm not dying for me. I'm not you wild. You know what I'm saying? I know dudes that done seen some. You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes some of you it's good to be a cartoon character. It's good to be funny sometimes. It's good to have jokes. Some people are more articulate than others, so they can get their message across a whole lot clearer than the average individual. But at the end of the day, man, it's just something. Some things is just simple math that your brain can't calculate simple math. Then what am I supposed to tell you? Some things is just common sense, right? 1 plus 1 equal 2. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hassan Campbell for calling me yesterday, calling in. Smitty Dollars was on the phone. J.E. Moneybags talking about real estate and real life events. I mean, you know, J.E. Moneybags is from the Bronx. He's from a rough part of the Bronx by Briggs Ave and 196 and all that. Mary, it's a war zone up there by itself. He made it out of that on a couple of properties. You know what I'm saying? He owns a business that he does construction. You know what I'm saying? Those words are inspiring. When somebody comes from where we come from, that was outside and found a way. But you know what I'm saying? And how he found a way, he had to move away. He moved away too far, but he had to get out of the cesspool. You know what I'm saying? Get out of what triggers the violence, what triggers the craziness. A lot of y'all dudes, man, y'all think being street legends is real. 2021, it doesn't matter. The new street legend will be some young boy that we never heard of. But his name is ringing bells with some corner. Why? Because he has all the beef in the world, all the smoke in the world. And if he doesn't go to jail, which might save his life, he's going to pass away by the age of 15 years old. These are your new legends now. The young boys that's passing away, these are the new legends. Because when you actually hear the story, they got mad drama. Yo, he had beef with such and such over there, such and such over there. Yo, he robbed such and such over there. And I'm going to be honest with you. You had dudes my generation that was losing their mind, but they was getting caught. So I guess that's why they didn't last. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of dudes, like some of them that threw the homeless guy over the bridge on the Wars Island Bridge or Randall's Island Bridge. He been in jail for the last 30 years. He went to jail when he was like 17. He was in the 4 building when he blew tri. He's still up north now. We talking about 2021. The last time I seen that man was like 9192. Yeah, so don't get it twisted. You got the younger, you got some dudes that just find chaos. They smoke some weed and rob something. It goes wrong. See what happened with Bernard Getz? Some dudes wanted to mug something. He started shooting. For all y'all that don't know who Bernard Getz is, he shot some cats up on the train and paralyzed a couple. You know what I'm saying? Paralyzed 1 or 2. But you see, that happened because dudes be, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say you have to listen to the message. Listen, everybody sees something different. Everybody hears something different. You got to see the message. You got to see the message, man. A lot of it's some dudes make up. Some dudes is more violent than others, and you got some dudes that's laid back. But when you trigger them, they go. Now, back to the story. It's a skinny jeans summer, man. And it's block screws and it's cliques, and it's not the traditional blooded crip thing. So you can't say, well, it's the big homies and they shooting shots. It's not that going on. It's 90% of that is not that going on. It's the personal cliques. It's the only way you can really control these young boys gang if you're out here and you're their gang leader. You're not gonna be able to control these young boys sitting in any penitentiary, in any jail cell. You know what I'm saying? You have to be physically their leader, directing the trafficking. Hold on 1 second. You know what I'm saying? It's a Bronx game. Well, Hassan did something on that yesterday, though. You know what I'm saying? It goes, New York Post. They write, a major gang war between ruthless Bronx crews. They said ruthless Bronx crews who were unafraid of cops have left a 13-year-old boy and 2 other teens dead in just the past 5 days, law enforcement told the Post on Monday. Now, that's what happened with Stop and Frisk. Stop and Frisk took to fail the young boys from carrying foreign objects. That's what Stop and Frisk did. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Blasio for that. Because what you did, because Because I'm gonna be honest with you, in my generation, when police wasn't bothering us, when we was scrambling on the corners, we felt it was lawless. We could do. We felt that as long as we did nothing to make the block hot, the police ain't coming. We didn't look at as pitching, as y'all call it, as we called it, pitching. That was really a legal thing to do. As long as you make the block hot, the cops don't come. Nowadays, you can go about with a Uzi, and you ain't got to worry about the police jumping out because of the stop and frisk, because it's considered to be a racial thing, like, you're racial profiling me. But you have some areas that have a lot of crime. So when you believe in, you know what I'm saying? Jay Collins, the young boys think life is a game. They don't life is getting harder to live, and life is getting more expensive to live. Their parents ain't gonna be alive to take care of them forever. That's a fact. Definitely Chris was bad. Gina, you know what I'm saying? Shaq Brim is in the building, Skinny Jean Wars, you know what I'm saying? We was the same way too, but we found the way out. We found the way when a lot of dudes was lost in the streets in the hood, they went out of town with their friends. Some dudes went out of town with their friends and stopped hustling with their friends and actually did well in VA, in Baltimore, Albany's connected. A lot of dudes that they just needed a way out of those circumstances. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of these young boys, they're young, they're forced to be stuck in these circumstances. They're 13, 14 years old. Their parents don't work. They get no type of help for them. So that's an income. And you know what I'm saying? This is what's going to pay the rent. And he's a part of my economic plan. And they're forced to keep them in that environment. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all on the parent. You're 13, 14 years old. You live in a war zone. What do you think is going to happen with your kids that's sitting outside on the porch every day? They're sucking all this in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So like I said, there was nothing wrong with the word being inside. Being inside was the winners. They was never in nothing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't in no gossip. There wasn't in no drama. There was nothing. Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. All the dudes that we said was inside the house, they was dope to us. Like, yo, what up, yo? What you doing today? Now I'm chilling. My mom's out. Well, I'm gonna holler at you later. Now I'm chilling. They always say this with the y'all be careful. All those dudes became cop CEOs, working downtown in the financial district. They all did well. They were still our mans. They just didn't have time to, you know what I'm saying? They upstairs. They try to be smart. They try to get out the hood. They try to get out the circle. They know some people felt like reading a book was going to get them out the hood. A lot of dudes was really trying to get their mothers out the projects. You know what I'm saying? I know a couple of dudes that got their parents out the projects. You know what I'm saying? A couple of dudes. Don't get it twisted. There was a couple of good hustlers or a couple of good, smart individuals that when they bought a house somewhere, come on, mom, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely it's what you're around. You're around your slew. You know what I'm saying? I believe it's what you're around. Now, what I mean, what I just read, 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? Now you're right, Jay Collins. You're right. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of ways to make money, to make it out. But you gotta have somebody that's gonna go. Are you gonna sit in the living room and keep blasting off on dudes across the street on the social networks, and knowing that when you go outside they're gonna take shots at you? Or are you gonna move to Jersey? You know what I'm saying? And move out the area where you can talk about this stuff and not have to worry about getting your head blown off. You know what I'm saying? It's because I think it's people, places, and things, man. You know, Rakim said a famous voice. It ain't where you from, it's where you at, bro. Some people can't survive unless they're stuck in that circle of violence. You know what I'm saying? They can't survive, bro. Them young boys is that we was young too. The difference between our young and their young was we was trying to be fly. We was trying to be fresh. Top of the morning. We was trying to be fly. We was trying to be fresh. We wasn't trying to get 25 to life. We wasn't trying to get 80 to life. You know what I'm saying? But let me finish reading this. But you're right, Jay Collins. It's just that you gotta move. You know what I'm saying? It's that city, top of the morning. You know what I'm saying? He goes, this is what the city says. We can't keep them in jail. And they're going after each other. A high-ranking police source said. You see, they can't keep them in jail because of the law that's been passed. Referring to juvenile suspects who end up back on the streets after being sent to family court instead of being prosecuted as adults, because they changed the laws. You can't charge an adolescent as an adult anymore. A prosecutor added, they don't go to jail so they do robberies, get in fights, and carry guns. Lawless, that's how it was. But I can't go to jail for this. You got dudes actually getting all on their second gun charge. You know what I'm saying? Life on the streets in 2021. Doesn't it sound like 89-ish? You know what I'm saying? They don't go to jail, so they do robbery. See, when you don't go to jail for something, remember, why? Think about what he just said. They don't go to jail, so why do they do? So they do robberies, get in fights, and carry guns. Why was there a high number of dudes selling krills? Because dudes who felt they wasn't gonna go to jail. You catch it. It took until Pataki came in for somebody to really go up north for a sale, a krill sale. It really took to Pataki. Dudes was going, but it took Pataki to put the nail in the coffin. Your first sale, 1 and 3. You know what I'm saying? You had to pay for a 6.5. You know what I'm saying? Once Pataki got in, felony, predicate, sent him north 4 to 12. You know what I'm saying? TNT was losing their mind. He built more prisons. Why? That's when the game changed. So now they changed they changed their little scientific goals of what they did with the hard game, and now they're doing it with the violence. So now basically saying you could do all the robbing in the world, you could do all the carrying guns in the world in New York City, and as well, you can kill. You know what I'm saying? Just don't get caught. And when that's stressing you, just stop and frisk don't stress you. Now look, the first teen to die in a bloody gang-fueled stretch of violence, borough violence, was 19-year-old Tyquel Doughty, who was shot in the head in front of his home in Crotona just before midnight Wednesday, sources and cops said. Doughty's gang-related death was followed by Sunday's fatal retaliation drive-by shootings of Jaquan J. Rip Elliott, a 13-year-old suspected member of the Crips, about 5 blocks away in Belmont. It's crazy. 5 blocks away. They going through young boys with guns going through it 5 blocks away. You can't, because at some point, right, we have to blame the household, the parent, right? But then also, we have to start blaming the system, don't we? Because don't we have to say, why do these young boys feel it's okay to commit? Yes, salute, King Crip. The third, you heard? That we salute the Flatbush. Why do these young boys feel it's okay to commit all this violence? Yeah, you know why? Because they just said it. No, they doing what we was doing, just with drugs, with the krills. They got balls. We had balls. We sold drugs on bikes. Yo, we everything you saying on corners, right? I used to hustle on the corner. Yo, how many you want? Dig in the pocket. I just had to pack in my pocket. Hold on, you want 10? It's the same thing because we didn't feel the threat of going to jail. But the young boys are getting it now. There's not a threat of going to jail. They know that they can run around with a gun and police are going to jump out on me. They know that they can physically rob something. And it's so lawless, they're doing it without no mask nowadays. They know it's 1,000 cameras. They don't care because they feel like they're not going to go to jail. And what's happening when they get locked up because they're teens? Because think about this. When they're teens, right? Remember when we first hustled, if you was 12, 13, that was all DFY time. So you knew if I caught a cell with the family, caught them out. This was happening with them, bro. They catch a robbery, they getting out. I ain't gonna front. Even back in the days, when you caught a robbery, you did go to Spofford. That's how dudes met Brooklyn cats. You met everything in Brooklyn. You met half of Brooklyn in DFY. That's one thing the Brooklyn cats was going to jail for was robberies and murders. Young, adolescents, you know what I'm saying? Even in the Bronx, I ain't gonna front. That's what you want. When you went to Spofford, you stood in Spofford, that's because you did something violent. If you sold some krills, get out of here. Go to the program. Go to the program. After school program. And then it takes a lot. It takes you to have like 10 cases before they finally go. You know what? You're going to Camp Cash. You're going to Highland. You're going to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to Triangle to get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? Before all that, you physically had the lawless state. So now what happens in the lawless state, these young boys don't believe they're going to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Because look, that sounds crazy, right? They just said this is what they said. The cops said this. This is what the police said, bro. Now Elliot, J. Rip Elliott, a 13 suspected member of the Crips. That's just crazy with a 13-year-old. And we know a bunch of 13-year-olds I was talking to get beat up back in the days. We used to talk to them all the time. You know what I'm saying? When somebody blocked me, put their hands and feet on them, that's because they was meant to become the victims. You know what I'm saying? They was meant to get beat up on. Now, 13-year-old, they're gonna get, and this is just not in New York. This is everywhere. They're the victims of this crime wave. Skinny Jean Summer. Elliot just graduated high school. Look, he just graduated Elliot, who just graduated from middle school, was at the scene when Doherty was shot, although he was not believed to have pulled the trigger. So that's crazy. He was at the scene when old boy got shot. So since somebody probably seen him and said such and such was there, allegedly the goons came back and did whatever they did. You know what I'm saying? The 13-year-old kid already had, listen to this. Doesn't it bring back the crack era? The crack era before Pataki? The 13-year-old kid already had 8 busts under his belt, including for robbery and assault, and had been locked up twice this year before being dumped back on the street. I see. See, we're learning more and more by listening to what's going on. Shout out to people like Hassan Campbell. Shout out to people that's talking about what's going on. My son. We see what's going on. They're letting these kids out. You know, and I know. Please, somebody who's been in DFY before, who caught a case in the 80s. My man Styles took on the training of the year. They wasn't just letting you out for violence. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. Dudes catch a robbery. Somebody caught a robbery and they got caught. That's how dudes met dudes in Spofford. Yo, I did 6 months in Spofford, son. You know what I'm saying? I did a year. You had dudes getting 8 to life of bodies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you already know that. Yo, Jay Collins, and that's one thing I'm going to salute. A lot of parents, like, my mom didn't know I was hustling. You know what I'm saying? She really didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Until after a while, when you start bringing garbage home, then the truth come out. You know what I'm saying? Jay Collins goes, these parents probably don't know their kids are involved in crime. If you got a single mother working 2 jobs, the teenager have watched over their little brothers and sisters. That's a fact. That's a fact. A lot of parents really don't know until you start showing the wealth. Remember, they're not hustling. This is violence. You know what I'm saying? So, they sit in the crib all day. Remember, these kids have so much drama. They can't be outside. So you think so you believe your child is in the house all day playing video games is because he got amounts of beef. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like my man used to make me laugh. My man said, my son got in some shit. I said, why? All of a sudden, he went to play the house. You know what I'm saying? He playing the house close. I don't know why. And it's the truth. His son come clean. Nah, Dad, you won't believe what happened. Such and such got to the situation. It wasn't no shooting, but it was just like, see, I told you. Niggas start playing home too close, Zeke. You gotta pay attention. The nigga be outside all day, every day. Can't find him when I want to find him. All of a sudden, he want to play the house. He want to play video games. Now all of a sudden, I say, let's go to the store together. Nah, I'm good, Dad. You know what I'm saying? What? I'm done. You know what I'm saying? This is what you see. You gotta, but see, a lot of parents don't have time to pay attention to the signs. Like you said, the single parent or just a parent that's getting high all day, partying. I'm not gonna stop the club. You know what I'm saying? Some of these parents are still stuck in skate key war stories. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he's no man. We be smoking hydro. Let's go. Remember the hydro in the glass? Yeah, the hydro. You know what I'm saying? They stuck in that conversation. Yeah, won't flex. You know what I'm saying? It's serious, man. But the young boys, man. So, you're saying a young boy who got killed, he's been in and out of the system, so we got to say that, de Blasio, we have to salute you for that before you won in a fight. I understand. I may try to understand what you're trying to do, but all you did was transfer the same attitude we had in the Krills era into. And I'm going to tell you what changed the Krills era. Pappy Mason. He killed that. Listen, they didn't change the era when they killed the parole officer. That's the funny part. Shout out to Queens, though, man. Cop killing Queens. But when they killed the parole officer, they didn't change the laws. They didn't change the laws at all when they killed the parole officer. Then they killed the cop, and boom. TNT, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. And the rest is history. Now, I had to finish going to this story, because rest in peace to that young man, because he was always 13 and caught up in stuff. He's just caught up in a sad time in New York State. He's caught up in a sad time in the United States of America, where the ones that's going to lose this battle, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The 13-year-old kid already had 8 busts, you know what I'm saying? Tyquel Dorsey, the 19-year-old kid who was the first to die in a stretch of gang-related violence in the Bronx. About 8.5 hours after Elliott's slain for his revenge murder was taken on 16-year-old Ramon Gill, who was fatally shot by 2 males on scooters a little over a mile away in Mount Hope section of the Bronx. Gill, who was affiliated with the 800 YGs or Young Gunners gang, had been at the scene of the 13-year-old slain, although it was not clear if he was one who did the killing. Now, it's crazy how this is crazy. One guy got killed because he was at the scene, right? The one that got killed on Belmont. He got killed because he was allegedly at the scene when the kid who got killed on Belmont. You know what I'm saying? He was on the crime scene. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. Although it's not clear, is he the one who did the killing? It's no surprise that there was a retaliation for Elliott's death because he was crazy and admired by all gang members. What did I say? He was crazy. 13 years old, in the mix, slapping, cutting, disrespectful. See what comes with the fame. Didn't I say that? The only ones when he was younger was the Rickies, we called them. Those are the Rickies. I called them the Rickies. So, oh, here he go. Somebody's always in something. Or he had all the beef in the world, all the smoke in the world. Everywhere he go, he can't conduct himself right. He go to the Chinese restaurant, he want, what you looking at? He want to fight. See? You see? You know what I said right there? It's no surprise that he retired for Elliott's death because was Papino bossed on. He was crazy and admired by all gang members. Shout out to East Harlem, man. Was Papino. You know what I'm saying? Babyface. And then, listen, modern day Babyface. A source of referring to a 13-year-old Bronx kid in the notorious 1930s Gillis Nelson, who was nicknamed Babyface because he looked so young. And you see what I'm saying? He took on a moniker of a gangster. We're back in 78, 79 with the violence. They've transferred their logic with, the beginning before Pachaki with the violence now. You know what I'm saying? And these guys are becoming famous by having all the smoke in the world. This is all the smoke in the world, bro. Apparently gotta know something. You could disguise selling krills. Like I can put clothes in my friend's house, which when I go to school. Until I get tired of that. But violence, after a while, when you go outside, people got to talk about that. Yo, okay. Because some people call you crazy. Like, he crazy. Like I said, he crazy. Yo, he bombed out. He got mad drama. And those are the type of individuals, when you get to my age, you stay away from. Somebody who's always in something. Somebody that's full of chaos. Somebody that's full of, in the mega mix. You know what I'm saying? I call it the mega mix. Always in something, can't conduct themselves right somewhere. Always paranoid. A lot of dudes that be paranoid is because they be in so much stuff. Gossip, naming something. So you have to pay attention to this. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay attention to this craziness. You know what I'm saying? Now, they're saying it's a gang war. Now check it. Gil Madrano had previously been wounded in a shooting on July 7th, 2020, a year to the day of Doherty's death last week. The 6-year-old was shot at the time by two boys on the scooter on Prospect Avenue about 2 blocks away. It's crazy. So you know what I'm saying? So he's on the crime scene of a murder scene, and he's the most famous guy in the clique. Why wouldn't they assume that he was a part of this? Even if he wasn't, like, get him. You know, you gotta fix the system, man. I mean, you have to look at the system. We understand people want votes. You want the black vote, so I guess sometimes to get the black vote, you gotta give us our way. They take away stop and frisk, racial profiling us, but you have to understand. Let's let them out of jail because we're not giving them a chance to succeed in life. So if they keep catching these gun charges and these felonies, they're young. They don't know no better. They're dying in the streets, though. That made sense. That made a whole lot more sense. Let me tell you something. Right now, I'm sitting back going, just imagine my generation if they was like, we don't care what you'll do with violence, just don't sell drugs. You know how many dudes be dying in the streets of New York, bro? You know how many, you thought it was 1,000 bodies then? It'd have been crazy. It'd have been crazy, man. It'd have been crazy. And that's why sort of St. Louis is the way it is, because again, the police don't be on it. So now dudes run around like it's lawless. They run around like it's a lawless place. When you hear all this murder and mayhem, that's because the police done dumbed down. Let them do what they do. We're just there to go and pick up the pieces after the smoke is cleared. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take your definitely shout out to Smitty Brim, man, because he definitely sent me a good clipping. You know what I'm saying? For those that didn't watch the I saw on camera, he called in yesterday. That's the guy, you know what I'm saying?
Teens shot and killed in the Bronx. This is surveillance video of one of those victims, just 13 years, stumbling into a restaurant after police say he was shot. We're freezing part of the video here because it's just too difficult to watch. The second teen was shot not too far away. And News 4's Erica Byfield joining us live now in the Claremont section of the Bronx. And Erica, I know you spoke with the victims' families, but first, what is the latest in this investigation?
Hi, Jen. Well, I spoke with police just moments ago. They tell me at this point, no arrests in either case. And while these shootings happen close to one another, at this point, police do not believe that they are connected. We had time today to spend with both of the mothers of both of these teens. As you can imagine, they are devastated, and they say they want answers.
It's the pain of a mother, man. The pain of a mother. While y'all killing these kids, it's the pain of a mother.
Teen is dead. Police say on Sunday he was in the Bronx in a taxi on 178th Street near Valentine Avenue when someone shot him point blank in the head and chest.
He died immediately.
Why?
I don't know why. We don't know why. We don't know what happened. We just want justice.
His family says that he was an aspiring rapper who loved baseball. They heard about it and were encouraged by Governor Cuomo's crackdown on violence, adding new teams to track guns. So they can't understand how. Just days later, Ramon is gone.
And he was on the phone with a friend when he got shot.
Yes, the friend heard the gunshot and then called my mom.
Oh my God.
It was horrific.
Sunday, a 13-year-old died too, shot walking down 187th Street. Surveillance shows Jerron Elliott in red pants. Shots zing through the air. Within seconds, he scrambles inside a restaurant. A crowd surrounds him. Police say he got shot in the ankle and chest.
It hurts me a lot, you know, that he was a nice kid. He was never a troublemaker. And this happened to him.
Angie's one of the people who lit a candle in his memory in front of his Southern Boulevard building. Police think that his death is gang-related. By phone, his mother called for peace and told me just how much she loves her son. Just like Ramon's mom. They want to know why this happened, left wondering, are they safe?
Necesitamos seguridad. We need security.
Shout out to Get to Society. Shout out to Juan. Those are all Rivera's in the building. Shout out to the Hat. Give to Society. It's a dirty game right now, man. You see what I'm saying? You see it live on camera. I just showed you the video. You see that's crazy. These young kids. It's looking like the wild, wild west. You know what I'm saying? Because it's lawless. You ain't know about the police. And it's to the point where the discipline is out the window. Why wear a mask for? I'm going home anyway. You're gonna let me out of jail anyway. Why am I gonna wear a police mask if they're gonna let me out anyway? I'm not going to jail for this. I'm 13 years old. The only time we had conversations like this, when we said, she said, if I give you a pack and you're 13 years old, they're gonna let you out tomorrow. That's why a lot of dudes recruited us to, not us, but a lot of dudes that was young to hustle because they knew one thing, you was not gonna sit in jail. You want to jump everything else, you want to jump for a gun and all that robbery stuff, or you might sit in Sparkle for a couple of months. But well, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? That's why dudes recruited a lot of young boys to hustle. It wasn't because I want to train you to be the best street individual in the world. No, it was because they knew when you got caught, you went to family court, they was letting you out. You know what I'm saying? But everybody has a different experience. So some people might go, well, the first time I got caught, they sent me to Sparkle, they sent me straight to Tryon. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's experience is different. But that was the whole logic. When you heard somebody say, I got a bunch of young boys hustling for me, it was because they knew that these young boys would get out of jail. That's what's going on with the violence now. Y'all can put all the work in, don't worry about it, you ain't going to jail. And I think for an adolescent body, that what you get, like an 8th to life, a 4th to life, or you stay in jail till like 21 years old, an adolescent body, unless you go all the way and blow. You know what I'm saying? You get like an 8 flat, 10 flat. You 14 years old, 16 years old in the shelter. They give you 8 years. You got good living for 8 summers. By the time you get out of jail, some dudes stay in DFY, I believe, until the end. And some that be wilding out, they send like the green and all that. You know what I'm saying? Green or wash, or somebody even hit the max. You know what I'm saying? But they still young. You know what I'm saying? So now, let's get on the next topic. The game. The game that lost his mind. But, you know what I'm saying? Game that lost his mind. He didn't lose his mind though. I guess he said he made an old track, and in the old track, he made a reference to something, and it looked like when they put the whatever out, he's hearing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, it's cool when you parade around gang members, right? And you parade around gang members. You know, oh, the police is racially profiling us, and they doing this and they doing that to our communities and our kids. And they was, you know what I'm saying? But now, I'm about to go back to the game. But now, this is the repercussions of it. Everybody who's defunding the police, it's just the repercussions of it. Because you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? So now what happens now is these young boys they can't go. They feel like they can't go to jail. When you feel that you ain't gonna have no consequences to things that you do, I think that's a win, isn't it? When you really feel in your heart, there's gonna be no consequences to anything I just did. You're not gonna feel. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening. You create this lawlessness because they look at it like this. That's Belmont section of the Bronx. Who cares? Who cares about Fordham Heights? Who cares? Who cares about Southern Boulevard and 180th? Who cares? The best thing over there is the Bronx Zoo. Who cares about them? Oh, but we do care about Little Italy, though. Those little businesses. Oh, we do care about Fordham University. And we're going to make sure that that's blocked off from all the chaos. We do care about that. One of the top universities in the United States of America is in the Bronx. Fordham University. They're in the top 100. Fordham University is right there in the Bronx. They care about that. They care about Riverdale. They care about some sort of part of where Co-op City is at, you know, like Pelham, that Pelham Bay area, you know, Morris Park. They care about those zones though. You're not gonna run around with 50 guns all day. The only thing that makes Pelham Bay a little wild, wicked, they got projects over there. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's they do all day. See, being known as Crazy Willie meant that you wasn't really crazy. You just had all the beef in the world. Oh, here come Crazy Willie. Because we're gonna steal your ice, he's gonna steal your bike, he's gonna slap, he's gonna take your pocket, he's gonna bully you. This is what Crazy Willie do. But see, in my era, the Crazy Willies, we didn't pay them niggas no mind after a while because we had a technique that would always win. It was called We Will Jump You. You know what I'm saying? You? So when Crazy Willie came around being Crazy Willie, we would take the time of our lives, the 5-10 minutes of our lives, and we give a Crazy Willie a couple of good kicks, a couple of good elbows. And then Crazy Willie would hate us, like, oh, I hate them dudes because every time I come around them, they jump me. So then that stopped the Crazy Willie trying us. You know what I'm saying? But there's Crazy Willies of the world. There's just Crazy Willies everywhere. And now the Bronx is full of a bunch of Crazy Willies. I don't want no money. Because remember, they too young for that. They too young to think about the millions. I just want to be famous. I want to be a famous street guy. When I pop up on the corner, I want everybody to scatter. And this is what the law has afforded them. They gave them that right to scatter. So thank you, Mayor de Blasio. We get it. We understand it. But you may never understand. You may never understand what it's like to be top of the top. You may never understand what it, and it's weird because you come from the Dinkins administration, so you know what was going on. You know that they wasn't going hard with a certain drug, and that's how that's why you had a bunch of people pitching. You think there'd have been a bunch of guys hustling on corners if they thought that they could go to jail for 1 million months? Do you really truly believe that? Do you truly believe that we would have been on those corners? You see dudes ain't on those corners now because they got cameras, dudes is going to jail. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? So let's imagine then. You know, we got to be mindful of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into the game. The game then lost his mind a little bit, but you know, And the funny part about Game is he apologized, which is real. See, what happens is you make a mistake or you do something people might deem a certain way, you apologize. Doesn't matter if people accept it, but you apologize because Game realized that you could create something bigger than what it is. See, a lot of people don't understand when you create something that's bigger than who you are. You can't look at things from one way. He said something about gang, and then you want to have dudes who are like, what are you talking about? He bugging. And now this younger generation, like I told you, is different. It's different at different geographics. What y'all think go on in Attic the Yard doesn't go on in South Central LA. You know what I'm saying? These young boys doing their own type of time and type of energy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I believe. That'd be the problem, man. You know what I'm saying? But I like what he did. He apologized. And hopefully, you know, nothing transpires from this because people start looking at, why would you do something like that or say something like that? And I know that people like to keep peace and things. And sometimes people will do something in the form of, let's keep the peace, don't do this, don't do that. Like I told you, that graffiti going over name things, we don't look at it, we look at it as that's a graffiti artist thing in New York City. On the West Coast, that has led to a couple of shootings and stabbings, like a couple of deaths, drive-bys, and all types of disrespecting the law name on the wall. Now, wall banging is for real, you know what I'm saying? It's just different. We don't see, now we don't see it, you know what I'm saying? Because when we speak about people dissing people on the graffiti walls, oh, that's a graffiti artist. Definitely shout out to all the graffiti artists in New York that did their thing. Definitely I recognize the African-American ones that was rocking, like Easy, Josh 5. You know what I'm saying? Easy, Josh 5. Most likely, that's exactly what he got. He definitely got touched in his hood. So he definitely, whatever happened with him happened in his hood. He was too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because wherever he was at, he was sitting comfortably. You don't sit in the side block, go live, without that happening. So wherever he was at, he was sitting definitely comfortable. But like I said, yeah, Easy, Josh 5, African American writer. That was all city. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bester, my man Spawn. You know what I'm saying? Definitely shout out to the African American writers that definitely did their thing. Dez, TFA. There was a bunch, man. P Sweet, you know what I'm saying? What? You know what I'm saying? Just the African American ones that you may not pay attention to, but they did their thing in that graffiti world. There's a host of others too, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Vulcan, TFA. The ones I remember, Dog, TRC. There's a whole bunch of them, man. It's definitely a whole bunch of African American graffiti artists. But like I told you, when they went over somebody's name, like when JA1 would go over somebody's name, they just want to beat JA1 up. In California, JA would go over somebody's name, 2-3 people die. You know what I'm saying? It's two different things. You know what I'm saying? Definitely shout out to JA1, John Addison. You know what I'm saying? You may not know who he is. His father was a movie producer. You know what I'm saying? I think his father did Lean On Me, and I think his father had something to do with Colors. But one of those movies, you seen JA1 tags. You know what I'm saying? He was a famous writer that had mad beef. You know what I'm saying? He was a graffiti writer that had mad beef. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to get at is that what Game did when he apologized, whatever he said in that track, was the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And in all reality, there's nothing wrong with that either. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Smitty Brim Dollars in the building. Smitty. Hey, Smitty Brim, shout out to Flatbush. What the blood clot is going on with Star? With blood clot. What's going on with Game, man? What happened, man? Because I can't catch it. What?
I'm scared, man. Reporting live, man. The Game, he kind of fucked up, man. He had, I guess, one of the boys out there, disrespected Nipsey picture on the wall, his memorial, I guess, and stuff like that. If I'm pronouncing it right. They disrespected him, and one of his little homies died. And Game had laid down a track on Instagram, and it happened to say that if you disrespect Nipsey, that's what you get. You understand? Which was kind of a fucked up time in knowing that this young boy done died. You understand what I'm saying? So, the homies wasn't feeling that. Damos out there wasn't feeling that. Pyros, Damos, a lot of brothers was up in his inbox letting them know, like, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, what side you on? You know what I'm saying? What type of time you on? You know what I'm saying? So he got back up there and he apologized and, made it correct to let niggas know, like, yo, I wasn't directing that to you. You understand what I'm saying? Or the homies, you know what I'm saying? Or the Inglewood family, because that's where the little homie was from. But he was from Inglewood family. So,
that's a fact.
Yeah, and like, got caught up. They was on his head for a minute, though, bro. You are?
It was on it. Yeah. I guess, what's crazy is it's like, they was on his dome, baby. They was on his dome. And it's funny because, we had this conversation yesterday, right? And I was like, Flatbush, a lot of people don't know about Flatbush unless you went to Flatbush or you have family in Flatbush. But y'all sort of went through, I think to me, and when it came to the 5 boroughs, y'all went to the closest it had come to California when it came to that type of banging where, he just caught.
So that's actual fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, besides the homies in Harlem, the twins from Rolling 30s and shit like that, besides them, Flatbush is the first motherfucking niggas that everybody from Biz and them niggas, Wink and them niggas, Wild B, all them Flatbush niggas is the first niggas to touch California and get that shit connected. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a known fact in New York. Flatbush is the first place where the Dom moves. I'm saying, as far as the Brims is concerned, got connected on the West Coast. As far as the 8 trays and the neighborhoods and shit that's going on, and the Insanes and shit like that. That shit started Flatbush, Crown Heights, Brownsville area.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Because remember, in Harlem, and the Harlem thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like you don't see that in East Harlem. Like now, you might go to East River if you wore red and have to fight a couple of Crips, but that wasn't going on. So it was like I remember in the heat of the Blood and Crip War in New York, it was Flatbush. I remember they said stay out of East Flatbush. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Stay out of Flatbush. Stay out of East Flatbush. The newspaper was saying it. Huh?
It was a territory thing. You gotta understand, before the Crips made their real mark in Flatbush, you had numerous blocks that was blood. You had all through Flatbush going down from fucking, I say from fucking what's that, Lincoln. Let's start from Lincoln all the way down. Passion Region, all that shit, Bev, all that shit was fucking Damu until Biz and them niggas made it happen. You understand what I'm saying? They really took over. They got everybody that was official in the hood. They went around everywhere that was official in the hood, and they grabbed the soldiers up, just like the Crips did in Cali. They mimicked the same thing the Crips did in Cali, but they did it in Flatbush. And they did it well because they sitting pretty.
Hell yeah. Definitely, hold on. Salute the BQ Mommy in the building. Shout out to Corona Queens, you heard? Shout out to Corona Queens, everything East Elmhurst. Yo, you know what's crazy? Because we have these conversations and it's like, a lot of people, because every geographic is different. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like I said, like I told you, the closest we're gonna get to you know what I'm saying? That be the family, BQ Mommy's in the building. You know what I'm saying? I just truly believe that in that era, when it was really crazy in New York, that's the closest you're gonna get to California. Like, there's no way you was gonna walk to like Garvey. You wasn't gonna walk through Marcus Garvey Village with all red on, and not think somebody's not gonna press you.
You wasn't walking through no Garvey. You wasn't walking through none of these places acting like it was sweet or you was coming to. None of that shit was happening, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing. That shit was not going down. Period.
You know what I'm saying?
You understand what I'm saying? You have motherfuckers that like really put this shit down. That's why I said it's crazy. Like in Flatbush right now, right?
Yeah.
You got the babies, the insanes on East 21st Street, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm not going. You know where they know where they be.
Yeah.
And then you got the 8 trees 2 blocks and around the corner from them.
Yeah.
And they beefing. This is the type of beef that happened in Flatbush. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got 2 first. I'm telling you, one, you go one corner, the next corner, their enemy is right there.
Yo, hold on. This guy, just maintaining 140 said he remember being in seventh grade. The principal was telling the kids not to wear red. That's how bad it was, bro. He said the principal said nobody would wear red.
Now because it didn't be, you see as where the Bloods became, a borough thing. It was like each borough and everybody was this way, that's where you couldn't really detect who was who. Oh, yo, I'm non-trade from Harlem.
Yeah.
I'm non-trade from Bronx.
Yeah.
I'm non-trade from Brooklyn. It wasn't like that with the Crip shit. These dudes is family members.
Yeah.
You understand? 3 and 4 brothers done turned Crip together.
Yeah.
Sisters. Everything. You understand what I'm saying? They moms.
Yeah.
The key in the store.
Yeah.
To go for their neighborhood. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get it. That's dope. So that's why I said it makes. So when I talk about the game situation, how you breaking it down, like the insanes going at it with the trays 2 blocks down, that's violence right there. It takes anything to trigger that. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
You understand what I'm saying? Anything can trigger that. You understand what I'm saying? And it's serious. Hold on, I'm coming with you right now. Go ahead, make your move. I'm coming right now. Yeah, but like I said, bro, like, you gotta understand, man, it's a different, and that's why it's out of hand right now because, all these OGs that was standing up and, you know, holding it down and shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, for the set, they was going back and forth to jail.
Yeah.
So these young dudes, they ain't have no guidance. You understand? They didn't have nobody to be like, yo, homie, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that, little homie, da-da-da. Because in all reality, when y'all coming together as one and y'all building on something, y'all supposed to build something better. Y'all not supposed to be in the same place y'all was 10, 15 years ago. Like, I just saw an interview from this dude from, I don't know what block crip, he was Acosio, block crip, and shit like that. And I saw interview on him a few years back where he was flashing money with the gang. He up, you know what I'm saying? He doing interviews letting niggas know he crippin', he hard body. And I just seen the interview on him.
Yo, hold on, Smitty. King Crip says he sends a salute to you, Flatbush love, you heard?
Yeah, Flatbush love to the loco, man. Heart to heart, man. You already know my heart red, yours blue. Facts. You understand? But yeah, so I'm the dude from Acosio Block Crip. I don't know where he was from, but it just popped up on my screen. And I'm like, damn, I just seen this dude like 10 years ago on some real full-fledged gangbanging shit. Like, yo, I ain't gonna stop that at a stop. But now I see him in a different light. You understand? You understand? He progressed in life. He's not doing the same shit, the same activities. He's not active. You understand? He got kids. He moved on. At some point in your life, you gotta be like, yo, let me put the bullshit aside. You know what I'm saying? And look at this from a grown man perspective. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real.
That's a fact.
You understand?
That's a fact.
You gotta grow, man. You gotta grow out there, man. You have to, man. You gotta learn from your mistakes, learn from others' mistakes. It's not a game, man.
It's not a game.
It's really not a game, man. And y'all need to go look at that dude from Acosio Block Crip, ABC, some shit like that. But the kid, you know, I saw him when he was down, when he had demons around him. To see him now and be like, and be able to speak on the internet and be like, yo, I don't give a fuck what y'all think about me, or the set think about me, or what they saying, because I'm not out there shooting nobody or destructing myself. You feel what I'm saying? That's real shit right there.
That's real shit. You know how real that shit is, man? Because, you know, in New York, where I'm from, we didn't have the gangbanging like that. It wasn't shoot 'em up, kill Bill. But you're right about that. I'm noticing in other markets is put that pain in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're right. If you don't put that pain in, then some dudes will look at you weird. Like, yo, the set, and you're supposed to maintain the street. I see the mentality sometimes when dudes run around with them ratchets on them, like I'm on go. You know what I'm saying? And I think because of the music industry trying to put all gang in one, it got crazy. You know what I'm saying? People get all the wrong messages. You know what I'm saying? At some point, there has to be some growth and development. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Has to be some. There has to be some type of, yo, can I do this and still win? Of course, if you stay away from the... I'm going to ask you a question, right? When I was up north, my man said, Zeke, as long as you don't, after you pull up for the count, as long as you don't stand there and get caught up in the gossip, you'll never be in the mix. You know what I mean?
You'll never be in the mix.
I pull up to the count, I'm out. I spin the yard. You know what I'm saying? Never in the mix.
Once they get that count in, I'm either going to work out. I'm going to chill with the one dude I fuck with.
Yeah, I'm not standing there. We're not going to spin the yard together. We're not going to be passing what they call the rollies around.
Yeah, that should be true, man.
Because that's where the job. Those are the dudes that get caught taking plates.
You don't know?
You know what I'm saying?
That's what you say.
Word.
You know
what I'm saying?
Wait for they coming right now. So if you want to... Nah, I'm cool. I'm like, cool.
Word.
So,
I got you.
I'm trying to call out my son-in-law anyway.
Yeah, Smitty Brim, man. You tied up right now. But you see what I'm saying? At some point in your life, there has to be growth and development. And within growth and development, you can see the stars. You know what I'm saying? There's a win for everybody in the game, man. You know what I'm saying? Smitty Brim from Flatbush. He grew up in that gang territory. When it was in its prime in New York, that war, Flatbush, East Flatbush, all that was making the newspaper, that's where he come from. That's the areas he come from. And just to be done more in that makes it crazy. Then you go, much later the 90s, you go into like Brownsville, you had the folks. on one side, and ABGs and the homies, and it was gang city. I know Betsy had pools, crazy. Southern Ave was cool, and you know, shout out to all the Caribbeans out there. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Just maintaining. They should be sending their kids drops. Exactly. You have to get tired of that. Nothing wrong with this. You know what I'm saying? OG should be sending their drops to trade schools and colleges. Exactly. But when all they did was have a street rep, they want their drops to have a street rep. You know what I'm saying? When you have an OG that all he's been lawyers, exactly. When you have an OG that all thing he accomplished in life is having a street name, that's what happens. Yeah.
Yo, my fault, y'all.
I know.
Please speak to the brothers. My fault.
Yo, I'm gonna ask you a question. I said this to you yesterday, right? Because I've noticed this with the Jamaicans, with the Caribbean. Shout out to all the Rude Boys, Blood, Clot, Bummer, Clot. Shout out to all the Rude Boys out there. How come with the Jamaicans, right? As crazy as it sounds, every Jamaican sound was considered, had some type of gangster history with it. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Sound wave and everything else. It's crazy, like. Every Jamaican sound I ever ran into, there was always a gangster story about me on it, and they just happened to make it with their music. You know what I'm saying? DJ.
That's a fact. And they, listen, majority, yo, I grew up on that. You know what I'm saying? Dudes used to come outside like chatting and battling each other. You understand?
Yeah.
Young age. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we watched Vicious come up, like Little Vicious. He came from my block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He came from my block and shit like that, you know, East 21st and shit like that, you know what I mean? Salute Little Vicious and shit like, but, you know, if you had to be official to come out with your set. You understand what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that run you off the block.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Wow. See, I never knew that. I never knew that.
They had it hard coming. You know what I'm saying? Coming up. When they first came to America and stuff like that, and the Jamaicans started migrating to America and stuff like that, and they start coming through these cities, through these blocks and stuff like Brooklyn and shit like that, they had to go through it. Yeah. You understand? It wasn't until they fought back. Just like the fucking, the Haitians, they had to go through it. Anybody that was from the West Indies that came through New York, they had to go through it. They had to prove themselves. They stood up. That's why we respect them even more. You understand that we respect their culture.
Yeah.
You understand? They taught us, they taught the members, even though, you know, a lot of us is from the West Indies and we don't know that, you know, but,
yeah,
you know, shout out to West Indians, man.
Shout out to West Haitians. Shout out to the Haitians.
Yo, shout out to Haitians. They running shit right now.
Yeah, shout out to the Haitians.
The Haitians is running shit. They sewing everything.
Everything moving. Insurance policies, everything. You know what I'm saying? They came up. They came up, bro. And that's what that's what it's all about. You come up, okay, you was in the street for a little while, but you come up, growth and development. That's what, and I think a lot of dudes get caught up with see, there's a difference between having a famous name for putting in senseless work and having a famous name for getting money and achieving great things in life. All them doubles in the building. There's a difference. So when it comes to, like the dudes, like for example, to lead the crowd, and I'm young, it's just like right now, I'm just going to be a famous guy that got all the beef in the world. Or I'm toxic. Yo, I'm not scared of them dudes on 2/5. I popped on them. Yo, son, I heard about you in Taino Towers. You was getting crazy. You don't want to be known as Crazy Zeke. That was never cool. Definitely.
That's right.
I was somebody from LA tapped in.
No. I fucked up. I probably fucked up a lot of relationships out there, you know, because of the image I had as a child. You understand what I'm saying? I did, you know, not to praise my shit, but I was a wild boy in Flatbush at a young age. And like you said, you know, when a person got, you know, a large family and shit like that, and he know ain't no consequences coming behind him, he gonna do anything.
Yeah.
You understand? And I took advantage of that. You understand what I'm saying? I did take advantage of that. Anybody probably would have took advantage of that. You understand? And I accept it to this day. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I accept my wrongs. I took advantage of it, you know, but it fucked up a lot of relationships. Motherfuckers be probably thinking like, damn, son, wow, that Smitty, you on some grimy shit.
You know, like, see? Wild Out Smitty. You know what I'm saying? That's who's Wild Out Smitty. You know what I'm saying?
It's good for you us out there. You understand? Being wild and running around and acting like you gangsters.
Oh yeah, hold on. Smitty. Somebody said, don't forget Barbados when you talk that West Indian talk. Let them know where you're from, style.
Barbados, stop playing. All people from Barbados. Come on, man. Salute Barbados, man. For real, throw your
Salute
folks in the
Barbados.
air, stop playing.
Hell yeah. Salute to Barbados, man. Free. Salute to my man Teflon Dawn and all that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, man. You know the Bayesians is, come on, man. Top notch.
Oh, somebody checked in from Quinshaw. Them salute to him. Shoot to Mambo Gonzalez. He always on the check-in. And the bro from Keyshaw, Keyway, LA, Quinshaw District 8th Ave and 63rd between Florence and Slauson tapped in. So salute, you bringing them out, bro. Money D's in the building.
The Slauson.
See?
Man,
The Slauson.
What's that? That's towards Nixie in the neighborhood and shit like that.
Probably,
That's
yeah.
all about the 60s and all that, if I'm not mistaken.
Real Cash in the building. Krills, Hoodstar, what's crackino.
What's cracking, what's popping to the homies, man.
Yeah, he said salute neighborhood, you heard? See what I'm saying? They on the checking, man. You got dudes in LA, got Money D from Chi-Town in the building, you got Queens in the building, just maintaining
Chi-Town, salute Queen.
Alright. It's for the people, man. That's why I do this for. I do this for the people. I don't do it for a bunch of donations to fly across my screen. I mean, I would appreciate, know what I mean? I appreciate the love, but I understand the information is more powerful. Because if we just get one, even if you disagree with me, to have this conversation, I love it. Yo, Zeke be bugging out, he be freestyling, he said this, but then it'll make you want to realize what the truth is. To go, damn, he was wrong, but you know what? I found out was right. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? That's what we're doing. That's all we're trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? I that's why I don't zap, or unless somebody's really getting on my nerves in the chat, I zap y'all. But if you're not doing that, it's just Bill, because Smitty has a lot of history. You see what he said? Wow, Smitty. When I was with retarded Zeke, they used to call me, what's he call me? Crazy Zeke, some crazy shit. I had mad beef. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. I'm happy that I don't got after the motherfucking drama that I got.
Know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like I was moving the way I was moving.
Yeah.
That shit ain't cool. Looking behind your back, having to worry. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm telling you, man, that shit ain't nothing but a dead end. The way these kids is going right now and this gang banging shit, that shit ain't nothing but a dead end.
Dead end. You have to find some closure somewhere. I'm telling you. You know why I'm not telling you for? Because y'all see it. Now look at the three. I just said I mentioned 3 murders, right? Okay, 1 kid died. 1 kid was seen standing there. What happened? The kid that was seen standing there, they killed him. Okay, another kid dies. When they killed that guy, another guy who was standing there, he gets hit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Then another guy who was sitting at that guy's.
They're not caring who they come around and shoot. They just spinning the block.
Yeah.
Because that's the score now. I'm ready to spin the block. Yo, 13 years old, 12 years old, they listen to a song. You know what I'm saying? And there we go, these parents. You understand? Not monitoring what your baby is listening to at 12 years old.
Yeah. You're
at
that
12
shit.
years old. You understand what I'm saying? It's certain shit I couldn't listen to in my household.
Yep. Not the mother.
I did put on a curse word in this motherfucker. Like, what?
What? Yo. And that's what I mean. Like, we had this conversation yesterday, right? And I was like, Smitty, I want to ask you a question. When was the first time you heard a racist conversation? This is some real shit. Shout out to Mambo Gonzalez, my man Old Dusty Puerto Rican in the building. Shout out to the Boricuas. Yo, I was like, you know what? It was my Uncle George, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because they was coming hard on us. So there was no time to slack. Y'all lazy American Yankee boys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? What? You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Don't you know everybody from the West Indies, when they come over here, the first thing they do is spend for their family and themselves.
Yeah.
Trying to either send money back home or what's the name? Whereas the American, he got a name.
Yeah.
He got a name. He already know he could get food stamps. He know he could just chill out for a minute, go to the block, get a couple dollars, go back to work for a couple months, spend
That's
that
a
there.
fact. That's
you
a
understand
fact.
what I'm saying? Like, it's, yo.
Yes,
The
yes.
West Indians work hard, man. Not saying the American people don't work
Hard.
hard. So
But-
my Americans too.
Yes,
The
yes.
West Indian people is hard workers, man.
So that's why we have these conversations. So a lot of you young boys, parents, listen, we know some of y'all young. We know y'all still think about Skate Key. They're still talking about the Molly Mansion and all this. We get it. But it's time for y'all to go, you know what? I got to catch on to this. My baby, maybe it's an endangered species right now. Not a man 40 years old is not even threatened no more. The young boys is killing each other. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. It ain't, yo, listen, it ain't us that's the threat. We realize what's going on. It's the young boys that's like, man, fuck it.
Fuck it.
That's our chance. This is how we doing it. Y'all rolling with the punch, or y'all gonna get duffed out. That's what it is.
Hell yeah. Oh, this is what he said. Keyway LA says to you, we trying to get the little homies to relax, homie. I'm 40. Lost my freedom almost 9 years behind this high desert 4-yard. The tiny lokes want war out here 24/7. Damn. That's how it is out there, bro. They want war all day. That's the little homies. I'm saying these are the young boys, man.
It's real. It's real. I know. I saw a fucking skit. No, this wasn't no skit. I seen some shit in California where I think these niggas was from 40s and shit like that. These niggas was from 40s and all that. So he was talking to his big homie, nigga that used to be solid in the hood, probably. Nigga that held down the set in the 80s and shit like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he was like, yo, asking the nigga for a couple dollars and shit. And he was like, yo, who the big bro now? Who the big bro now? Yeah, I've done this shit. This is my shit now. Disrespecting the nigga. This nigga done paved the way for you. How you got him on camera? Look at these babies don't care about us. You understand what I'm saying? They don't care about who was the big homie. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, hold on. Yo, check this out. Hold on what you just said. Bro, you got Bloods, IFG, clicking up with Crip trays against other Crips.
Yeah, you got the IFGs clicking up with the fucking with the 8 trays, but you got the 60s clicking up with the bounty hunters though.
Yo,
What you talk about? They even clicking up with the bounty hunters. Yeah, they clicking up with the bounty hunters because they don't fuck with the villains. You understand? I was about to say the villains, but they don't fuck with the villains and shit like that. So you got the 60s clicking up with the bounty hunters. It's no different. You feel what I'm saying? He's saying the 8 trays is clicking up with the IFGs. The 60s is clicking up with the bounty. So what's the difference? There's no difference. That's just like the Wu and the Cho shit. The Brems is clicking up with this. The Max is clicking up with this.
Yo, Smitty, he says young kids, all those kids 18 and under. Just imagine that with guns. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
But you gotta understand too, in the IFGs and the 8 trays, they got families within that shit. You understand that?
Oh.
Mothers, cousins, that's Englewood family, cousins, that's 8 tray. You understand? And shit like that. So that's how that shit, they used to chill in each other's neighborhoods and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And just like the 60s and the boundaries. You understand? That's why they don't be beefing.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That California politics game is crazy. He was like, Keyway LA says, no older homies from my section will never do that. Dead homies. Yeah, the older cats probably gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
Yeah, I mean, shit. They probably not gonna do that. But this is a day where everybody clicking up.
Yeah, won't show. Look at that. That's crazy. You know, the won't show thing. That's deep, right?
What happened?
That's it. That won't show. That's deep, right? That's what Bloods and Crips and folks and blood. Yeah,
it's beyond coming back. You can't come back from that. Too many motherfuckers done passed away. That shit is like real life beef. They don't even give a fuck about the blood and Crip shit no more.
You know what I'm saying? That's out the window.
They don't even care about the blood and Crip shit no more. They're like, fuck that blood and Crip shit, nigga.
Yeah.
The only time they give a fuck about blood, Crip, and folk shit is when they go to jail. Other than that, they throwing that food. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit, man.
Yes.
Just like the Crip, just like he said, the tiny lokes out there. He might have a set of tiny lokes from his hood. You understand? They might be rolling 60 Crips, but they tiny lokes whatever bashers or whatever. They might have a clip within that 60 clip that just don't give a fuck and not listening to nobody.
You know what I'm saying? That's deep, bro. That's deep, Rose. That's deep, man. Yo, this is dope. Yo, you know what? Keyway LA. My IG is Zeke Black. Feed the Wolves. Yo, send me your info, bro. I want to do something. I want to do a panel with John Shots. You, him, because he in Cali. You from Flatbush. This is dope, bro. You hear me? And see if we can get King Low to come on the screen. Yo, this is dope for the culture, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is a real conversation, and y'all all this is because what y'all think is new ain't new. It's just this is what's going on now. Am I right? These young boys found their own lane. Like you said, wrong true. That can't come back from that. You can't just go, yo, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I mean?
That's right. You can't just say sorry after you done made a nigga man down and shit like that. It's over. Like ain't no sorry. You understand? Just like the Inglewood shit with Indian Red. With Indian Red boy, God bless his soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? VIP to the homie and shit like that. But it's like, yo, that shit ain't gonna stop. You think that shit gonna stop? You think
you know what I'm saying? that alone.
Gonna let that go?
Yo, that alone. I want to ask you a question, because you more in tune with Cali than definitely than I am. That wall banging alone is its own issue. Am I correct? That whole wall banging thing.
That whole wall banging is an issue. You understand what I'm saying? You going up to somebody else's turf, disrespecting their dad homies, crossing they hood out, or whatever. That's way disrespect.
Yo, what's the saying?
That ain't no New York City where Zeke Black tag up his name Zeke Black, and then I go over and put Smitty over it. That ain't none of that shit.
Yeah.
That ain't none of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? When you got bombing walls in New York. Nah, them motherfuckers bomb that wall, it's on. They either coming back returning fire, or they gonna hit your shit up or do whatever they feel. You feel what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna catch a random dude from, let's say, motherfucking Inglewood family. He ain't gonna be over here spraying up full Trey Hood or shit like that, or what's the name? Knowing he cool with the H. You know what I'm saying?
Now check it. He wrote, Keyway LA said, homie, my dad lost his life behind this. My uncles, my neighbors, this BS was handed down before I knew my ABCs, if I am being honest. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's so funny? You know what's funny? You know what's funny? A lot of people said that Indian Red died from hood hopping. I never heard somebody that said that they was Full-Time Blend become Pyru. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't think you can hood hop in Cali. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's a New York thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, they said Indian boy hood hop?
Yeah, but that's
so that's why they got at him.
That's what they're trying to say in the media now. He got killed for hood hopping. But
because he was a Full-Time Blend and he went.
No. I guess he was Inglewood. I guess he was Inglewood and went Pyru. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? I never heard that before though. But nobody hood hop. I know in jail they have their little UBNs and bloodlines, but I never heard the who knows 2021.
Down south, New York and down south is the only place you're gonna hear motherfuckers hood hopping. That's it.
Yeah,
Chicago,
that's exactly.
Chicago, my fault. In Chicago, because you be having GD turn BD and BD turn GDs and.
They saying that he went Hollywoods to families.
He went from where?
From Hollywoods to families. Damn, this generation done changed. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
Hollywood. I don't even know what Hollywood is.
So Keyway says, homie, I won't say too much, but this little dude, Indian Red, Continental Park, had been to Hawthorne several times. Nothing happened to him. All of a sudden this. So he was hanging out. Sentinella Park, okay, had been to Hawthorne several times, but he happened to be in Hawthorne and got hit. That didn't mean that he should have. He just got hit in another territory.
I get it now. I understand what he's saying. He's basically saying that he was in the Sentinella Park Pyru hood.
Yeah.
On Hawthorne all day. He always be on Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to him. Now all of a sudden, after they dismissed him, he in pictures with Capone #3.
Yeah.
That come up.
I get it. Didn't mean he hood hop. He was hit out with another set. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I get it. No, but you gotta understand, most of the power rules fuck with Nipsey.
Yeah.
You gotta understand that. Most of the power rules fuck with Nipsey. Game, what's the other nigga, YG and all them niggas.
Yeah,
Them
most
niggas
likely.
fuck with Nipsey. You understand? They cool with Nipsey. So if you disrespecting his movie and shit like that, of course they gonna defend that, regardless of who they are. You know what I'm saying? Because they got connected to that. They hoods fuck with each other. You feel what I'm saying? So like he said, I understand they clicking up. Like he said, it's funny how
You do
boy
circles.
went over there, they get hit up numerous times, and all of a sudden after the Nipsey shit, he gets spanked.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that was a trophy hit right there. Unless he did something else that was weird, but that was definitely a trophy hit because he's actually on live with one of the individuals involved with the wherever he was at, he felt safe. Like he like
And I'm
homeboy.
not saying, and yo, trust me, I'm not trying to say anything or anybody did this shit or them niggas did it from set. I don't give a fuck. I'm not in that shit. You understand?
It probably was.
I don't know if they did it or
I
not.
don't know.
I don't know where that hit came from. I'm not no fucking detective, but I get
Well, I
it.
was a fan of Nip, though. You know,
I'm just saying.
he's not saying the 60s did it, but the war banging, going over somebody's name and somebody being mad about it, you'd be surprised who picked that plate up. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't know. There might have been somebody who had love for Nip. Like, man, fuck this nigga.
$200, $2,000, $500. Yo, boy, right there. I ain't got no money. Oh, what?
Yeah, well, boom. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he goes, I don't think it had nothing to do with Nip, but I would say Nip was heavy in Compton, rules and CCs. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Very heavy in Compton. That's a fact. He was very heavy with the power rule.
Yeah.
Everybody know that. That ain't no fucking mystery.
Be surprised what you'd be surprised. You
Had
definitely be
respect for him. And
surprised.
certain hoods around his neighborhood had respect for him. Fucking Joe Moses from the B&Gs
Yeah.
had respect for him.
Yeah. So we never to say, see, you know what's crazy? We just said how these young boys be all over the place, right? Now, when he got hit, the first thing they said was one of the guys that was with the guys or talking to the guy who killed Nipsey. So they said the 60s, whatever the case may be. But Nips had love, a lot of people had love for the nigga. So whatever pillow talking he was doing, whatever he was doing that was weird, right? That plays a part to that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, whoever smoked him is gonna get some you know what I'm saying? Whoever smoked him is gonna get the accolades. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? For yo, thanks, yo, good looking, homie. You killed the nigga, one of the niggas that was playing on Nip's name. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact. You're not lying about that.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, he was then turning. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I gotta go to work. This is the Dope Live, but definitely salute. I'm happy that you're all. You know what I'm saying? So now the world can say had nothing to do with Nip, but at the end of the day, most likely he's gonna get accolades for like, yo, I did it for Nip. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Rest in peace to Nipsey. Rest in peace to Nipsey. Rest in peace to Indian Red. Salute to that. I gotta go to work. With that being said, peace. You heard? Appreciate y'all. You looking, Smitty.